Hi everyone. Today Salesforce development day 6. Today and tomorrow is development classes. Today development class is day 6. And what are we going to learn in this class? We are going to review the previous session. Review the previous session of the development, what we have done. And we are going to learn about the Apex page block section and decoding the Apex page block section tag and what are the attributes used in this tag. And we'll see one requirement. We'll see one requirement and then what is the merge field and how do we use the merge field. Second one, what is the next one is what is the syntax of merge field. Then we will see Apex command button. There is a command button tag. So we will see what is the Apex command button tag and what is the decode of how can I see the Apex command by decoding the tag. Apex command button attributes. What are the attributes? Then we will see requirement 2. And next one is Apex page blocks button, decoding the page block button tag and what are the attributes are available in Apex page block button. Now next one is homework and we'll have a quiz and then interview session. So today our focus is learning the 3 Visualforce tags. Today our focus is learning 3 Visualforce tag. One is Apex page block section tag and the second one is Apex command button. And the third one is Apex page block buttons. Yes.
Ma'am, your screen is not shared to me.
It's not sharing?
It's visible. It's visible.
It's visible.
Okay. Maybe you need to reconnect.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
So today 3 Visualforce tags, we will be seeing it. One is Apex page block section, command button, page block button. These 3 we are going to focus on. Along with that, we are going to focus on merge fields. What is the merge fields? What is the syntax of merge field? How to use the merge field? So this is what we are going to learn out of this session. Now, quick recap what we have learned previously, last development class. We have learned
page block.
Yes. We have learned the page block and Apex page block. Right? So let me connect the org. How to go to the developer console?
Click on settings.
Setup developer console. Developer console. File new.
Okay. So last class we have learned this. Whenever we create a Visualforce page, new Visualforce page, by default, Salesforce is going to provide me Apex page, that is the starting of the tag and ending of the tag will have a Apex page. And in between that, we have written some text and then we use the page block. Right, and in the page block, title, generation information, help title, help URL. So we have implemented this in the last class and we have seen how it is going to display in Salesforce user interface. So this is what we have seen. Now, continuation of this, what we are going to learn is today, we are going to focus on Apex page block section. Let's see. Apex page block section. This is a Visualforce tag. This is a Visualforce tag. Why we use this one? We use this one to create a subsection inside the page block. We have a page block. Visualforce tag is there, right? To create a subsection inside a page block is nothing but a page block section. Now, what is that means? First, we will be having a apex colon page, and inside that we will write apex colon page block. And within the apex colon page block, we will be writing the apex colon page block section. What will happen if I write this? It will create a subsection inside the page block. Now, let's decode it. So as we know that this is apex colon page block section is Visualforce tag or standard component. Now we have a start of the page block section. Apex colon page block section is a open Visualforce tag, and ending will be closing with slash. And here apex is nothing but prefix namespace. Apex is nothing but prefix namespace. And the page block section is nothing but this is the component. Here, the components, what are the Visualforce tags you use it, namespace will be always apex. The component names will be changing. The component names will be changing. And after this, we'll have an attribute. We'll have an attribute. Attribute is available only in open Visualforce tag, not the closed Visualforce tag. Attributes are available only on open Visualforce tag. Now, what are the main attributes that are available? What are the main attributes that are available? The first one is title. On the apex page block section, we have a title attribute. We have a title attribute. So title is nothing but the text which I wanted to display, the text which I wanted to display on the page block section. If I wanted to display contact information, then title equal to contact information. The input is expected by this attribute is string. String type is expected. Data type is string. Next, column. Column is nothing but the number of columns that can be included in single row of the page block section. So for example, let me open the Paint. Okay. So what we have seen till last class, there is a general information we are displaying here, right? And here we have a help title, more information. More information. And here you will see one icon. You see one. This is what we have implemented. Right here, what we are doing, this is actually a page block. This is a page block. This is a page block. Now, inside this page block, this page block needs to be divided into multiple sections. This page block need to divide into multiple sections. So when I say multiple section, this is one, and another one is one more here. Okay. So general information. So general information should be divided into personal information, and let's say basic information. So whatever this division is there, so here, this is a page. This is a page. And what we did, page we divided into blocks. So this is one block. This is one block, which is page block. Again, page block is divided into sections. This is a page block section. Right? This is a page block section. Now, within this page block section, for example, I'm displaying the details of account name. I'm displaying the details of account name. So what I'll do, I'll display it here, account name, one field, another field is phone number. Right? Now everything I'm displaying in single column. Now I want to display the same information, not in the single column. I wanted to divide this column. So that means account number should come here and the phone number should come here. So I'm dividing, this is a, in this I'm dividing, I'm saying that 2 columns needs to be displayed here. If you want a 4 columns to be displayed, you can display. If you want a 6 columns to be displayed, you can display. How you will do this division of this, you will be doing by using the attribute called column. So column equal to 2 means you are going to divide that single row into 2 columns. If column equal to 4 means you are going to divide the single row in 4 columns. You are going to divide in 4 columns. So that means this is one column, 2 column, 3rd column, 4th column. So this is decided by this attribute. Where we will write this attribute in page block section. Next, ID. ID, as we have discussed, this is the identifier. ID is nothing but identifier that allows a component. Here, what is the component here? Component is page block section. An identifier that allows page block section component to be referenced by the other component in the page. In page, if somebody wants to call or somebody wants to refer or take the information from this page block section component, they can call it by using the ID. If we give ID, if we mention ID, within the same page, if any other component wants to talk to this page block, they have to use whatever the name is mentioned in ID. So that is Apex page block section attributes. Now the requirement is general information. Now, couple of things we have here. First one is general information. Where it is displaying general information, it is displaying on page block. This is my first requirement, right? This is first one. Now I'm dividing this entire requirement. Now the second one is they need this information. They need this information. This is the second one. Now, if you see here, there is a thin line between the general information and what are the registration information is there. That means this is another, this entire thing is a page block. This entire thing is a page block. Within that, there is a division happened here. And in that thin line, again, we have two things which we need to implement. One is registration information. Another one is basic information. So how many lines of code that we might have to write? One is this general information, right? So second one, I need to focus on the contact, and the third one is I need to focus on how can I display the registration information, basic information. Now we have to note down the micro requirement here. Now let's open the notepad. So this is how you will be doing in the real time. Whenever you get a requirement, do not jump onto the requirement. Do not jump onto the requirement. Understand the requirement first. So here the requirement is they need a general information. On top, and then contact details client has given the requirement. They wanted to see line details. This is clickable. And next one is, there is a 2 sections are there. What are those?
Ma'am,
One
that's
is
a general information. First one.
general information. The second, here 2 sections are registration information and basic information. Right? So this is total 5 steps I need to implement. Now they have given the screenshot. Client has given the screenshot. This is the screenshot they have given. And they told us to implement only as a classic view. They told us to implement as a classic view. Right? So this requirement is implement a Visualforce page where the page contains following details: general information and contact details is clickable, and 2 sections within that: registration information and basic information. Now, okay, I got a clarity here what I need to use it. Now I'll go to the now clarity in a sense. Now this is in general I have written. From here in general I have written. Now in order to display the general information on top, right, for these 2, first and second, what is the code that I have to use in order to implement these 2? What is the code that I have to use in order to implement this?
Page section. Page section and helper text.
Page block first, second. Page block, apex colon. Page block. Page block.
We have to use apex colon page block.
Page block.
Not the page block section. So here, in order to implement first and second, we need to use the page block. And for second one, we have to use an attribute called help title.
Help
Title.
and
Help URL.
Help URL.
Help URL. By using this, I can implement this logic. Now the second one is they are talking about section. Where are those sections? Is it outside of the page block or is it inside the page block?
Inside
Inside
the
page block.
Inside the page block. So that means in order to implement 6, 7, 8, what is the line of code that I need to use? The line of code
Apex colon page block.
page block section.
Page block section. I have to use it. Now here they want the title, right? This is the one they wanted to display. Now I have an attribute called title. By using the title, I can display this information. So by using the title, we can display this information. Now I got it clear. Okay, so let me go to the development. File, new, Visualforce page. Via page block section. Okay. Now this is by default, we are getting the Apex page. Now the second one is what I need to use it here, page block.
Page block.
Page block.
Title. Help title.
Always observe this. We are starting, what are the components are there within this namespace? Components always starts with small p. Starts with small p, and the next word immediately start with capital. Every tag, whatever the tag you take it, pay component always starts with a small letter. And after completing the word, if there is another word is starting, it always starts with a capital and then all are small. Capital, all are small. Right? Capital, all are small. Capital, all are small. So this is the naming convention. And this is the naming how it is there. Now within the Apex page block. Now what are the attributes we need? One is title equal to general information. Next, help title. Help title, what they are expecting. Contact details. Help URL. Let me give www.google. So help URL is www.google.com. So this is the URL that I'm using it. Now first step is done. Within that we have to use. What is the next tag that I need to use it?
Page block section.
Page block
Section.
section. This is the problem with the developer console. Okay, now here, okay, can I write the Apex page block section without the page block? Will it allow me?
No. No.
What is the error? We will get it, but it is allowing me. It is allowing me. Okay. Now, save. I'll come to that point later. Now let's go ahead and implement the requirement. Now title, basic information, right? And the next one is second one. What is the requirement in the
Registration information.
registration information? Let's save this. Perfect. So this is our code. Page block section. Now click on preview. When you click on a preview, what happened here? A page block section component must be contained within the a page block component. What is the error that we get it? A page block section component must be contained within a page block component. Developer console is allowing me, it is not giving any error. But when you click on a preview, that's how you see the issue. The output, when you click on a preview, while executing it, that time you will see the error. A page block section component must be contained within a page block component. That is the error. Now, delete this. This is the one of the interview question they will ask. They will say that, okay, I'm writing out of the page block. It is allowing me the developer console. Yes, developer console will allow. There is not an issue. But when you click on when you click on a preview to see the result, we will not be seeing the result. We will not be seeing the result. Now I have removed that. Now whatever we want. Okay, here it is. Now the result is came. General information, right? General information. Now, see, general information registration information, basic information, contact details, clickable, and this icon. Right? This is what exactly we have implemented right now.
Ma'am, by default, the color is black.
No, yeah, by default, color is black. We can apply the colors, whatever the color you want. By default, it will display the black. Now, this is the requirement given from client. I got a requirement to implement this page. Now, what we have done, we have implemented. Now, we have implemented a logic. This is the logic which we have implemented. Right? This is the logic which we have implemented in developer console. Okay, this is the logic we have implemented. Now, what is the output we got? The output we have received this. Requirement, implementation, and the output. Okay, so requirement and the logic has been implemented and we see the output. Right? Logic is backend. Where is the logic here? Logic we have written, there is no business logic here. We have just implemented the user interface. Where we have implemented the user interface by using Visualforce.
Visualforce.
By using the Visualforce, we have implemented a user interface. Now, what is the tag that I have used here? The tags which I have used, apex colon page
block section.
PageBlock, Apex PageBlock section.
Right. These three I have used it. Clear, everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Page block section.
Ma'am, that I couldn't understand. Inside the PageBlock only, we have to write the section back once again, repeat it once.
Yes. We have to write inside the page block. Just hold on. Okay. Let me go back to the developer console. Now, we have a page block. Okay, so the structure is given by the Salesforce. Okay. Now, Apex page. Now, I'll ask one question. Can I write this entire block outside of the Apex page?
No,
ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
no.
Why?
Everything should be within the
Right in the Apex
Apex
tag.
page.
Yeah.
Apex.
Column page.
Everything within the Apex page. Because these are the child component of Apex page. Now, can I write this one outside of the page block?
No.
We should not be writing because this page block is section is a child of a page block. Developer console might be allow you because there is a defect there. But when you see the output, you cannot see when you click on a preview to see the result, you will not be able to see. Because you are writing completely outside of your group. It's simple example. When you are in your friends group, you talk so much. When you go for another group, when you go to some different group, nobody knows, right? When you go there, when you try to talk to some person in that group, will anybody listen to you? They will not be listening because that is not your group. So same here, page block section has to be within the page block. Because page block section is the child of the page block. Page block section.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you.
Now let's go back to the. Assume that we have received this requirement from the client and we have implemented, we did a demo to the client. The demo has given to the client. Now, while watching the demo, client was watching the demo. While watching, they thought that maybe some changes are needed on this page. This looks good, but based on our internal discussion, client says that based on our internal discussion, we are thinking we wanted to add some more information to the existing page. What are the some more information? They wanted to add another block here. See, it is ending here and this block is starting. And they wanted to add this information also. They wanted to add this information also. Whatever we have implemented, that is perfectly fine. For extending, they are extending the requirement. This happens usually in the real time. So when we are doing the demo, definitely by the time, like when we complete the demo, they will keep on adding the requirements to the existing changes. So assume that they wanted this another block also need to be implemented, similar like general information. They want a contact information and there should be a title here, which is a clickable contact details. And they want inside the contact details, they want the personal details and they want address details. Now, do you see any difference between the first one and second one, style wise?
No.
No, ma'am, nothing.
No, ma'am.
Exactly same, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Exactly same, only the title
Information
names
is
are
different.
different.
Yes.
So what I'll do is, I'll just copy the page block here. Copy this and add. Now the question is, how many page blocks can I add? You can add as many as. How many page block section can I add? You can add as many as based on your requirement. Now second one says contact information. Right? This is contact details. First one is more details. Now in contact information, they need personal details, address details. Personal details, address details. Let's say, click on preview. So when you click on a preview, see here, right? So default section styling will be black.
Ma'am, if you click on the contact details, question mark, it's the Google page?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, there is an issue here. What it is doing is, it is adding this to the this. Why it is happening? It is just added the www.google.com. But what it is doing, it is appending to the my org. The reason is here
That
I
is a
have
constant.
given www.google.com. How about if I give HTTPS? It's auto refreshing. Now let's click on here. Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Any questions on the page block section? Everybody clear on coding side till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's move on the new topic, which is called merge fields. Merge fields. Now in Visualforce, what is the merge fields? So the definition of merge fields is nothing but to display the standard reference fields. To display the standard fields or to display the standard Salesforce button, we use, what we will do is we will take a name of the standard button. Okay, for example, we have a save button, right? We will take that save name of the save button and we will combine that in certain format. So we will say that merge field. So basically here merge field is nothing but to display any standard fields which are there in Salesforce. To display any standard Salesforce buttons. What is that means? Not clear. Okay, let me explain more clearly. So if you see the format of merge field, you will understand. So for example, what is the format of merge field here? It starts with open curly braces. The format is starts with open curly braces. And after the curly braces, it adds the exclamation point. The first is opens the curly brace, and it adds the exclamation point. And continuation of that, what we'll have, we have a two types of it here. First, if you want to display the button, if you want to use Salesforce standard button in Visualforce. If you want to use Salesforce standard button in Visualforce. So in that case, what I mean, we have a cancel button, we have a save button. So if I wanted to use these fields in Visualforce, in that case, I have to take a name equal to, so after the exclamation, I have to write save. After the exclamation, I have to write cancel. Now, if I wanted to take a field reference, so what is the field reference is nothing but we have a, it is nothing but if you want to use any standard Salesforce field after this exclamation. The first one is it starts with curly braces and then followed by exclamation. After the exclamation, what you have to use it? Either you can use the button or you can use the field, right? Could be a standard field or you can use the custom fields also. So when you are using the standard Salesforce field, it has to in a format of object name dot field name, object name dot field name. So that means what exactly? So object name is nothing but we have seen a account. Everybody know about this account. After account, there is a dot and then give the field name, API field name, which is nothing but name. Now it ends with the curly braces. Merge fields always starts with the curly braces, ends with curly braces. And in between, we have a exclamation, either the button name or a field name, or if you are defining any custom field within the code, you can use it. So any value, if you write within this curly exclamation and end. So basically, any value if you write between this open curly braces, exclamation and end. So within this, whatever you write, that means I am merging it. This is called merge field. This is called merge fields. Merge fields. Now let's see the syntaxes. When I say object name dot field API name, means we have seen account, contact, lead, objects, right? So curly braces, exclamation is common for everybody. What are the field? Whenever you wanted to use the Salesforce standard field, everyone has to, if you want to use the Salesforce standard fields or button, it has to start with curly braces, exclamation, and it ends with curly braces, only curly braces. There is no exclamation here. Only curly braces. Within this, we will write a object name and API, field API name. Object name and field API name. Now, what is the field API name here? Field API name is nothing but if you go to the account. If you go to account, now open any record. Details. Now, do you see here? You are seeing the account name, right? You are seeing the account name. This is the field label name. This is field label name. Now, what is the API name for this? So, go to the setup. Go to setup and object manager. Click on a object manager. Then click on account. Okay, here you click on the field. Now, what is the account name is field label. What is the API name is name. This is the label. What label has to be displayed? This is the label. We will see only the label names on the account. We'll see only the label names here. We won't see the API field names here. Whatever the names we are seeing here, account owner, account name, parent account, account number, account sign, these are the field label. These are field label. To know the API name of that label, we have to go to the object manager, open that particular object, click on a fields and relationship, and then you search for which label you are looking for it. Search here. Like I'm looking for account name. Now, when you say account name, now what is the API name here? Is nothing but name. Right? So, object name dot field API name. Okay, for my account name, field API name is name. Account dot phone number and contact dot name, contact dot mobile, lead dot name. Right? Wherever in developer, in Salesforce, wherever you see there is a field which is surrounded by curly braces, exclamation, and ending with curly braces. Any field you see here, okay, in Salesforce, any field that has this starting of curly braces, exclamation, ending of this curly braces is nothing but, this is nothing but merge fields. This is nothing but merge field. They are using the merge fields. Okay, they are using the merge fields. You hear this one usually in any development. Okay, so not only in the Visualforce, you will be using different places these merge fields. Now, if you wanted to use the standard button, Salesforce standard button. No, we have a different standard buttons. We have a save button, cancel button, new button, edit button. These are standard, right? Now, if you wanted to use the same button, use the name of that button. Use the name of that button and within the use the name of that button within the curly braces, exclamation and closing curly braces. Open curly braces, exclamation and close curly braces. Is it clear, merge fields?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Swapna, can you repeat please for standard
Yes.
Salesforce button?
Standard Salesforce button. So for example, if I go to the here, okay, now I'll go to the account. Now here, do you see Salesforce standard button? This is a new button.
Yeah.
This is one of the button. If you click on this, the page will be open. Here you see Salesforce standard buttons.
Yeah.
Cancel, new, right?
Yes.
So those are Salesforce standard button. If you open the existing record, you see here edit button will be there. Edit, delete.
Yes.
Any DML operation buttons are there. Okay. Edit, delete, new, save, cancel. What is the name of these buttons? What is the name of this button? Go to the account and go here, buttons and links. And here you see edit, right?
Yeah.
And new,
Yes.
new is there. If you wanted to utilize the same functionality, what is happens here when you click on this edit, it will open the edit mode, right?
Yes.
And you make changes here, and when you click on here, save, what happens? It
It's safe.
saves in the Salesforce database. If
Yes.
I wanted to use the same functionality, same thing, if I wanted to use it in the Visualforce, if I want to use same functionality in Visualforce, then I can use it here.
Okay.
I can use save. No, I need not to write any logic backend of this. I just need to, we will see that right now I'll show. Okay, so sometimes you need not to write it. So when you use this curly brace exclamation save means you can utilize the Salesforce standard button, how the styling is displayed for the save button, cancel, how it is displaying it. The entire styling and functionality will be applied here.
Okay. Thank you, Swapna.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Ma'am, only these are the standard Salesforce buttons. Only these 4.
Mostly in real time, we use only this. If you ask me,
Yeah, okay.
so far I have used save and cancel. Only these two I have used it. I never use the edit and new button. Only save and cancel is the one most of the times we use it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, now let's move on to the, now keep this in mind. I'll be coming back to this merge fields. Okay, keep this in mind. Now let's move on to the another Visualforce tag, which is called command button, command button. Now, what is this command button? Command button is Visualforce tag. And why do we use this? We use this to display the button on page, So we have some pages which we have implemented, right? If you wanted to display the button on the page, then we have to use _command button. We have to use _command button. Now, what are the, okay, let's see the decoding part. So decoding part is we have a open Visualforce tag and we have a close Visualforce tag. And apex is namespace and component is here command button. And we have a attributes within the for this component. There are different attributes are there, but there is no mandatory attributes here. Okay, whether you can use it or that should be fine. Right here, command button, component, and the attribute. Now let's see the attributes. Now the first thing is that value. Value is nothing but what is the name that needs to be displayed on page, on button. What is the value that needs to be displayed? What is the value that needs to be displayed on the button? And what does that mean? If you go to the Salesforce, right? Now here, what is the name it is displaying on the button? It is displaying new
New.
name. Now, if you want a different name on this button, where you have to mention, we have an attribute called value. We have an attribute called value. Whatever the value you mention there, it will be displayed same name on button. No, action. Action is nothing but, this is where we will be writing the merge field here. Action is, we use a merge field. What action needs to be performed on this button? What action needs to be performed on this button? Now, when I click on this button, what action needs to be performed? It needs to open the page. It needs to open new page. If I go here, go to the existing record. Now, if I click on the button called edit, what action needs to be performed? Edit window should be displayed. Now, if I make any changes, if I click on this button, save button, when I click on a save button, what action needs to be performed? It should save the data inside, modified data in Salesforce database, right? So every button has an action that needs to be performed. So in command button, we have one of the attribute called the action. When you click on that button, what action needs to be happen, and how you mention that. We use a merge field syntax to reference the method. So here attribute type is Apex Pages.action. Now don't worry about it. If you are hearing this for the first time, Apex Pages.action is nothing but what it is saying, that what action needs to be performed. This is attribute type. Okay, usually we see the attribute type string, number, right? These things we will see, but here you see the different attribute type because this is provided by the Salesforce. Salesforce itself is saying that whenever you use the action, use the type is Apex Pages.action. That means Apex Pages is the namespace here. Apex Pages is namespace. Action is, there is an action which Salesforce has implemented and they wanted to use this type. This is one of the method. Action is one of the method which was implemented by Salesforce. Now, what is the action here? If you are implementing a button and you wanted to perform some action by clicking on that button, you wanted to invoke some logic by clicking on that method, or if you wanted to use the existing button, you want to use the existing button functionality or existing button logic, then what we will do, we use the merge field. We use the merge field. In the next one, ID. So next one is ID. So ID is, we all know that ID is nothing but identifier that allows the Apex command button, that allows the command button component to be referenced by the other component. Now this is the requirement. Now in the requirement 1, we have implemented general information and we have implemented contact information, right? This page was implemented. Now what is the new thing that here we have? We need
New button.
New button we have to implement. And this new button is, if you see, this is within the page
block section. Page block.
right? Page block.
Page block.
This is the page block. This is on the page block. We have this. On the page block, we have a button and assume that it is in the center of the page. Okay. Now, we are clear. We already have the existing general information, registration information, basic information, contact information, personal details, address details. This everything is we have implemented. What is the new thing we got it? We need to add a button on the page. We need to add a button on the page. This is a new requirement which I got it. Now, client said that we are very much impressed with this page. Now I need to add a new button because we are going to add more registration information, basic information within this page. We wanted to have a flexibility within this page. We wanted to add general information, contact information. So that is the requirement given by Salesforce, given by client. Now only the button I need to implement. Now here, now this is what we have written before, right? Now just now we have learned the apex command button. Just now we have learned the apex command button. Now I don't know where to put it. It says that within the page block. It is on the page block. Wherever the general information is there only I want the data. So I'm not sure. So what I'll do is within the apex page, I'll put apex colon command button.
Button.
And what are the attributes that we are going to use?
Value.
Value.
Action ID.
Is equals to new.
And then action, let's say that. Is this right?
No.
No,
What do I need to do?
action.
Open flower bracket, exclamation, close.
Why? Because action data type. Action data type, what is it? Apex pages dot action. Action data type is apex pages dot action. I cannot give any string there. Now I have, okay, this is what they were expecting me. Now what is the issue that I'm getting here? It says that must occur between the tag. Okay, so let me take out this here. Control X. I'll place it here. What is the issue?
Need to write command button also. Closing command.
Closing command button. Ma'am.
Oh, closing command button.
Apex colon command button. Action. Curly braces save.
Ma'am, first we need to give value, right?
It's not mandatory. Which one has to be written first? It's not mandatory.
Okay.
I think action should be outside the quotes. There should not be quotes for action.
Which one?
For action, command button action is equal to, can we remove the double quotes?
Madam, we are missing page form, I hope.
Why we should remove the double quotes? If I remove the double quotes, system will think this is a command or attribute or a component. No, somebody was saying that end. Okay. No,
Wait, it is a self tag.
it is a
Self tag.
yes,
Apex
it
command
is a
button is a
self
self
tag.
tag.
Yes, it is a
Yeah.
self tag. But
Okay.
if I write a self tag also, it's not allowing me. Where we are writing within the apex page block. Apex page, command button, page block section, and this one. Yes.
Ma'am, actually at the line first, apex page, there is a space. Oh, that's not an issue, I think so.
That's not the issue. Now, what is this?
Do we write inside the form, madam, page form?
Yes, there is a something called Apex colon form. Let me open the page. Now, it is fine till you are displaying the hard-coded value. Okay. If you are showing the hard-coded value or some paragraph or you are showing some information, this is fine. You can do it without anything in the Visualforce page. But as soon as you start using the button, that means if you are using the button means what it is going to happen, you are going to perform a DML operation. If you use a button or if you're planning to use a input, you are expecting some input from the user, right? In this scenario, if you are trying to implement this scenario, we have to always use, there should be a surrounding of this. Which will be between the page and the logic, whatever you are writing. Between the page and the logic which you are writing. It has to be Apex colon form. Apex colon form. You have to use this Apex colon form. When you use this Apex colon form, what will happen? It will enable the edit option. It will enable the CRUD operations. It will enable, you can perform all DML operations. You can perform whatever you want. You can write a button, you can implement a button, you can write input, you can take a input fields from the users, right? You can do everything which is related to the DML. Any DML operations, if you wanted to use, you have to make this page as there is a thin line between your Apex page. There will be thin line between your Apex page and your logic.
Buttons.
So this is your Apex page and end in here. In case if you want that means you are going to perform some DML operations on this page. That means you have to put your logic with, there should be some thin line, we have to add it. That thin line is called Apex forms. That thin line is called Apex forms. When you put the Apex form between your Apex page and the logic, what will happen here? It will enable. It will add a backend. What will happen is it will add give more permission for you. It will give more permissions, right? Apex page, rest all things, whatever you are doing it, this is a read permission. This is a read permission. Now, as soon as you say that I wanted to implement a page for the editing or for button, I wanted to include a button. Now, if you wanted to include a button, then you have to first tell your page, go ahead and use this Apex colon form. Why? Because I need a edit access to this page. I need a edit access to this Apex page. If you have a edit or CRUD operation, create, read, update, delete, you need all these informations, right? All this access, right? So you are going to enable using this Apex colon form. As soon as you use this Apex colon form, boom, your page got access that you can go ahead and do, use button, tracking the input, anything you can use it. Right, so let me go back to the Salesforce. Now, here it is giving the, now, when you are not using the Apex colon form, this is the error you will get it. Must occur between tags, but it will not tell which tag. but it will not tell which tag. It will simply say that must occur between the tags. Now, as soon as you see this error, that means you have to enable some permissions for this Visualforce page. How you will enable? By adding a Visualforce tag called Apex::force. Apex::form, sorry. Apex::form. And all your logic put inside this. All your logic put inside this. Page, form. Now you have a page block. Now command button. Now you can write a command button outside also. Because in order to include certain components inside the Visualforce page, what are those certain components? Those components are used for the DML operation. Those components are used for getting the information from the customer. When you use those components in the Visualforce page, you first need to enable your Visualforce page by giving the Apex::form. When you say Apex::form means go ahead and we can use all DML operations, input buttons, anything I can do, all the calculations I can do here, everything can be done. Now let's click on a preview button. If I click on a preview button, what happened here? The button came here, but I do not want here. I want it here. So what I'll do is I'll just
Inside page block.
yes. So here I'll put, let's say what is happening. Somewhere here it is coming, but I need it here. I need it here. So if I wanted to place here, usually what we have to do, we have to put styling, adjusting the center of the window, right? I have to put all kind of a styling on this button. Now, instead of spending a lot of time on this button, what I'll do is there is a one Visualforce tag. There is a one Visualforce tag called Apex::PageBlockButton. Apex::PageBlockButton. What is this? This is a Visualforce tag. By using this button, I can use the pre-built style, like however we want. It will be coming in the center, right? All Salesforce standard button styles and the look and feel, everything I can apply. And here we have a ID as we know, and there is a location. So in this attribute, in this Apex::PageBlockButtons tag, there is a new attribute called location. So this location, what is this location? Location is nothing but, do you want to display this button on top of your page or drop down where you wanted to display, or you wanted to display top and bottom? Here save button I wanted, and at the end of page also I need a save button. Now that is who will be doing the decision. This attribute will be doing it. Where we will be writing this attribute? Within the Apex::PageBlockButtons. Within the Apex::PageBlockButtons. So location will decide where button needs to be displayed. Now, on click. Do we want an on click event to be occur? Like when I click on this, there should be some logic needs to be happen at the back end. So for that, we use a on click attribute name. Now decoding of the Apex::PageBlockButton, open Visualforce tag and close Visualforce tag, and we have a prefix of Apex namespace, and the component name is PageBlockButton. One of the attribute is location. So there are many attributes are there, but nothing is mandatory. Now let's go ahead and see how to use this PageBlockButton. How to use the PageBlockButton. Now we have written here, right? So now this button has to be inside the page block and it has to be applied multiple. Now, for example, I wanted to display the multiple buttons. Okay, first let's see the first button. Now we will write apex colon page block buttons, because this is going to combine all the buttons. Now what I'll do is I'll put this command button within the page block button. Within the page block button. I have not done anything here. I just added the Visualforce tag page block buttons. Within that, I have added the command button. Within that, I have added the command button. It is always good practice to format your code. See the way how it looks like. Do not start everything from here. The parent has to be started here, then give a tab and then give a tab. This is how your structure. When you are closing, it has to be closed. And then you are opening one more. And when you are closing, it has to close. So this structure has to be maintained, which also give the clarity that whether the person is a good in coding or not. Because developer has to maintain this. This is how we write a structure. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on a preview button. We added the apex page button. See here, it's coming in center, right? It is coming here. And whenever I hover it, it's giving me some different color, right? Now I do not want bottom. I do not want this on the bottom. I just want it only on top. So what I'll do is I'll go to the page block buttons, and here the attribute called location. I'll say top. By default, top and bottom. But if you specify only top, it will display only on the top. Now let's assume that I'm going to put more buttons here. Let's say delete. Now if I put in more buttons, how it is going to display. Now let's see. It's refreshing it, right? It is displaying here. Right now the styling has not applied because there is a lot more on to do here. We are just bringing the functionality here. We are just bringing the functionality of save, functionality of delete, functionality of new button. Till this point, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So this is page block section. Again, one more page block section, page block section.
Page block button, command button.
Command button. Each one of them are command button. This is one command button. This is another command button. This is another command button. We combined everything to the group and we kept it as a apex page block button. Apex page block button. Clear? Anybody has any questions?
What is?
What is? Sorry, you have to repeat the question.
Ma'am, can you tell once again apex page block button attributes? Like what are the attributes? Location and what are the others?
Location on click. If I go to the, okay, here developer console. Okay, location, we know ID, right? And we have used the location on click. On click is nothing but when you click on that button, for example, you wanted to customize it. You wanted to customize. There is a button is there. You wanted to customize that. Now, when you click on that page block button, on the anywhere in the page block button, if you click on that, I need to execute some logic. On click we will use only when you are building the custom logic. When you are building the custom logic, for example, I am building the custom logic called new logic on button. So I'm going to implement this. Now, when I click on this, what they will do is Salesforce, they will check, is there an attribute declared here? Yes, there is an attribute declared on click. So when we click on this, what should happen? So there is some logic which is written here. Now we will see this, how to use it, everything. Now you don't worry about it. Now you don't worry about it. Okay. So this we will see when we go to the actual implementation of the method writing, how to call the logic, everything. But here on click is nothing but just understand we are going to perform logic which is written by us,
But then here for a new delete and save, like action in action, for those also we are need to give a logic, right? For those things.
Now, for example, client says that I need a on click on this button, but anywhere if I click on this, anywhere in this page block button, and if I click here or here or here, anywhere within this, if I click, it should work. Client does not want to focus here, click on this. No, that should not be happening yet. So they always want wherever I hover and click on it, anywhere on the page button. Don't worry, we will see how it is going to work. We will see that differences there. But on the command button also we will use it, page button also, page block button also we will use it.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like I'm just asking, like how on click button is there, like the same thing here also, new also the same thing, right? For
Yes.
for action.
Yes.
For on, yes, on like we need to like write a backend code for these things,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
New, delete, save for those things also.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. DML full form is nothing but data manipulation language. Data manipulation what is nothing but, so this is nothing but your data, whatever the user is entering. Data is nothing but you are giving a input or user is giving the input. User is entering the input on the page. User is entering the input on the page. Now manipulation is nothing but you are doing either saving the data or editing the data or updating the data or inserting the new data or deleting the data, right? This is nothing but anything we do, save, update, insert, delete, roll back, right? Whatever we play with the data is called a data manipulation language, DML. Clear? Shailaja? Okay. Now, any questions? So what did we learn today? Today we learned apex colon,
Page block.
Block section first.
First we learned page block section.
Block section.
and its attributes, and then merge fields,
Attributes,
merge fields,
merge fields,
Command buttons, apex colon command buttons,
apex colon, command button,
apex attributes,
its attributes,
apex
Apex colon page block buttons.
and its attributes.
and Salesforce standard buttons.
There is one more we have learned.
Apex colon form.
Yes.
Apex form.
So after command button, we learn apex colon.
Form.
So total 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
4 Visualforce tags we have learned. Now let's move on the questions. Can I write apex page block section outside of the page block?
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No, ma'am.
No.
So what will happen if I write it?
It
Showed
shows some error.
It's show error.
After clicking the preview, it shows the error.
Yes.
Since parent is off.
Next, what is merge field?
To display a field.
To
Display the
display
field.
standard reference fields.
Yes.
To display standard
display the
Salesforce buttons.
Button.
To display standard reference.
First one or second one or third one?
Second one.
Second one.
Yes, standard difference fields.
Reference fields and Salesforce buttons.
To display the standard reference fields and display Salesforce standard.
Salesforce buttons.
Merge field syntax to display standard save button.
Curly bracket.
Curly bracket. No.
Third one.
What is
Third one.
Third one.
Curly braces action.
third one? Curly braces, exclamation,
Metric.
the name of the button, closing the curly braces. This is called merge field. Now, how can we display the command button tag with pre-built styles?
Page block button.
Page block button. Third one.
Third one.
Which one?
Fourth one.
Fourth one. Fourth one.
Fourth one. Page block button.
What is the difference between third and fourth?
Yeah.
Spelling mistake.
Section.
So we
Section
have
is
a
there.
page block section button.
No, man.
No. Page block button.
So page block button is the correct one. Okay. So assignment, career objective. Okay. And this is the page block. And here we have title. You can give any link here. So when we click on it, it should redirect. And within that, we have a page block section, experience, education, technical skills, projects, achievements. And then we have a button called save. It is displaying only on top. It's not displaying here. Bottom, it is not displaying, only on top it is displaying. This is the requirement. Any questions on the assignment?
I have a question about the interview questions. If you go back to the last question and the interview questions, I'm confused about this one.
Okay.
So we usually page block button. No, I think I got it. Sorry, I got it. No worry. Okay. Yeah, I was confused when I the section one.
Okay. Okay. Assignments, any questions?
Ma'am, I have one question. In Trailhead, there is one contact connect with multiple accounts.
Hold on that question. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, we are done with the session. The interview questions will be sent. Now let me stop recording.